Welcome back.
Today we're going to review the game Power Grid. It has a mechanic that a lot of people compare to another really popular game out there, Ticket to Ride.
So if you've played that and you're a fan, definitely stick around for our Power Grid Terrible 2
Minute Review.
Power Grid is a 2 to 6 player game from Rio Grande Games. It's a map-based networking game in which players are claiming cities and then making sure they can power them with electricity.
At the beginning of the game and on end of every round, players bid on a randomized selection of power plants. So those power plants have different costs, different fuel source needs, and the number of cities that they power is different.
After everybody has selected power plants, they then move on to a resource buying phase.
Resources are based on scarcity, so as players buy more of the resources, the cost goes up for the remaining ones.
At the beginning of each round, the turn order changes based on who has the most cities, so weaker players get to buy resources first, a catch the leader mechanic.
That works well. The next phase in the game is buying plants to place in cities. So you go in that turn order, you buy the cities that you want, or buy the plants that you want, and you place them on the board on cities.
Players have to pay the cost to place a plant in a city, and they also have to pay the connection cost to connect it to their other plants.
After everyone has had a turn, you then burn your resources to power your plants, and the number of cities that you power determine what payment you get.
And now that the round's over and you have a full wallet, you're ready for the next round.
The end of the game is triggered when the first player builds his 17th city. That starts the final round, and then whichever player is able to build and power the most cities during that round actually wins the game. Give us your rating, Ryan.
It's a very well-balanced game. I like how as the game is progressing and players are getting larger power grids, the power plant options are changing, resources are fluctuating from stage to stage, and the option of where to build in cities is changing too. It's just a very nice pace to the whole thing, and the bidding mechanic is encouraging players to interact, and that is always great. Theme.
I got to admit that I don't just love the theme. The old-timey power plant illustrations are okay. There's a bunch of them, and they fleshed it out really well. And there's also this hilarious little thing on the side you got to check out. The board lays out well. All the components have a nice place to rest. There are a bunch of cards and a bunch of things to go with it, so it fits together really well. Tell us about the replayability.
This is a good one. While it takes about an hour and a half to play, and there's a lot of stuff going on, none of it's really fluff. I know Ticket to Ride is a great entry game to this networking genre of games, but Power Grid is just a fuller experience overall. Enjoyability.
I think what you just said is the reason that this game ends up on so many top 10 lists. Like, it is a full experience. You've got the resource management, you've got the bidding, you've got the components, you've got the interaction and everything that goes with it. It's not hard to learn. It's a fun game to play.
Tantrum House gives Power Grid 2 thumbs up. Get to buy resources first. A catch the leader mechanism.
After resources are purchased, you then burn your resources to power your power plants, and
that completes the round. And now that your build fold is full again, you start the whole process over.
the game end is triggered when are we singing the same song?